Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to do the watercolor bird art. So what you need first is a piece of paper, about 4 by 6. If you have watercolor paper, that's the best. But if you don't, a white piece of paper works, sketchbook paper would work. I'm going to create something similar to this image. First off, you can go online and choose any type of bird that you would like to draw or paint. I chose a chickadee for my first drawing, and I chose a bluebird for my second drawing, as you can see. First, I'm going to draw my bird using a picture from the internet, which I did. Here is my bird. I drew lightly with pencil. I added a cherry blossom branch because I wanted to have cherry blossoms in my picture. I'd like to have something that my bird will sit on. Once I've done my pencil drawing, then I'm going to take watercolor paint, such as the ones that we have from school, if you have this at home. If you don't, that's okay. You can use watercolor pencil if you have, or you can use pencil crayon. Any other type of paint that you have will work. You want a thin paintbrush, and you want a little bit of water and a paper towel to blot your paint. So I'm going to paint my bluebird a little bit here. Lots of nice water on my brush. I'm going to go into my paint palette, pick a little bit of blue paint, but I don't want it to be too strong. So I might mix in a bit of white with my paint to make sure. I also don't want my brush to be too full of water, so I will blot on my paper towel. Okay, then I will start to fill in my bluebird's wing here. I have to be very careful with watercolor paper because it can bleed. That's why the thinner the brush, the better it is. Okay. A nice technique with watercolor is to add depth. So you can add a little bit more paint to your brush and add texture and depth to your painting. So I'm adding some depth to these wings to show the feathers by adding a little bit darker color paint. In the same blue, but just darker. Okay, so I might go to my yellow, mix in a bit of white again. What's nice about the top of your watercolor palette is you can use it to mix colors. So I might do that with some yellow. Go in here, mix yellow with some white until I have my desired shade, and then I can take it to my painting and paint it on. I'm going to start with a very light touch when it comes to my art because it's hard to take away paint but it's not hard to add on. I'm going to continue this way with my painting. Cherry blossoms. I don't have a pink, so I'm going to have to use red, and I'm going to have to mix that all important white again in. So I'm going to take lots of red, put it on my palette here, rinse my brush, get some white, mix it in until I have a nice cherry blossom color. And I can color in my cherry blossoms there. So I'm not going to rush this. I'm going to go nice and slow. Okay. I'm going to add depths with a little darker pink around the side. A bit more red around the side maybe to add some color, some depth to these flowers. They punch out more from my painting. I won't do the whole painting because it will take too long, but I wanted to show you this one. This is a picture of a chickadee. So I use gray and black and white to create that painting, and he's just standing on a branch. But I feel like the background of this one is a little dull. That's